given 7,200 laptop computers to three. The Ministry of Education has given 7,200 laptop computers to 300 junior high schools in the Ashanti region. At an estimated cost of 3 million Ghana cedis, each of the schools will receive 24 laptop computers to improve on the teaching and learning of ICT, which is now an integral part of education and an examinable subject in the BECE.
Making the presentation, the Minister of Education, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, noted that computers are basic tools to support learning and students must put them to good use. She asked students to focus on the positive aspect of computers, concentrate on their books, and they will excel in their studies. Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman cautioned unproductive teachers to change their attitude before they are shown the exit. On examination malpractices, the minister pleaded with the children to refrain from cheating.
When we educate the children well, we are doing it for ourselves. When we are too old to make the decisions and we are bedridden, they will be deciding for us. And if we don't train them well, they will make those decisions that may not help us. So at the very least, we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves, and I know that most are doing a good job. And therefore, those of us who decide that will not pull our weight. You know, resignation is always an option.
The Regional Director of Education, Mr. Kofi Safo Kantanka, said following the roadmap towards the school's computerization project, 250 laptop computers were supplied to selected basic schools. 50 teachers and 54 circuit supervisors have been trained to give meaning to the project. Again, 735 teachers are being trained by the RLG company at separate centers at Kumasi, Asante Mampong, Efidiase, and Obuasi. The Adansi South District Director of Education, Mr. Isua Yeboah, whose district was a beneficiary, said his district has been allocated 488 laptops and promised they would be put to good use.
Before I came in, there were no ICT teachers in all the schools, but I made sure that since this ICT teaching is very, very paramount as far as the BEC is concerned, I've sent ICT teachers to all the schools. And again, I've made sure that all schools have places where they are going to use their computers.
Me and the mature BBA Wabaso. I hire go to 101 and go to Facebook and 101 YouTube. Intino aba near Chiamo strong conso. I aba near Chiamo strong conso. You say, you know, say about me, I said digitalisation. The be chemo videos are and me na me bo Ghana television GTV. Omo asum ye free titini nyina omo ena omo ma ye sa video ya ye bo bi di a kire mu indi se mu videos a betwa agu no enye me videos ye Ghana television no ameka se me ne nkofo bi na akwa de akwa hye ho inti mini as waba nya abotre net na ha net train na obeti nsem won say senkofo bi be di ade na omo fan say your omo responsibility say e was omo di bibi e ma wo a omo mbo ho dawro because ade a eye wadwuma eye wasede say wotu aba school fees eye wasede say obo ira kohoma na say okobo ira kohoma na afi no aba begina abontin na osi ye nto nwom mfro say ade ya wabo ira kohoma Minianum Sasem will be one what yes, so boy, a coma. We used to cut the mouth here. A yet then our person or jabas body. Medical catcher must say, a year do a mamu bonny fontan time. And nunti, and the may bet na ha, ye can't and your man Jomahama because Nanka Jomahama buys here into Abama 2012. Or by say may day, or by say, or be to me no boy na my asset no more day. Akuye. And until na Jomahama day, a beji akunyan. Na Jomahama one beji akunyan say, or be school diamaya. na ya bon nsemu di ama say wasi school die di ama. So we see hospital maya na ya bon nsemu di ama say na ne ba obedi tumi no ba oba beka che say man tumi no na ho mfa so pa n say obedi tumi na nkwa kwa akoda hwe maka chem 24 yes she adwuma but ye betete ho a kakra ko sese 24th no ebedru mo amaba so no mo engagement no wo form enti ye besere mo se mo baso na mo nya feed na mo moa na video no intimi nkonu ba bia wo se edru so ti ase say ye stop in between na ye alert mo a truncate the flow of conversation no oh inti mo ba de mo be ye no mema me mebo eme didi nwu aso ansa unnim dada but wanya na mo freezy the friend say inti wa wo hwe mo YouTube wa hwe mo platform bia wo hwe me no try and engage yourself motiase yenko yenim. Sorry. Inti yakoye yenim no video ya me boy enye video bia say digitalisation Kwame Nkrumah beje Ghana akonya kese se otena so no na eyenkofo bi so asudie ene omoda yeso se Kwame Nkrumah enfeli so that amanfo no be more chance na omo aba beye bi Kwame Nkrumah enfeli amanfo no never voted for abonefo no pe kwa bia so eyede etu Kwame Nkrumah aban diguye na yede tumi se abonefo ni nsem no ade ana Kwame Nkrumah eye maye no ana yesi yempe no onu ma anwoma ni nyina guwie ye no afi no masan ba se de Kwame Nkrumah saase a omudi tu no omose yenye no a omutu na aba guwie etiri kura no eno na omo ba be repetition esi 2016 ye dede gu Mahama trisu se wa bon ye mpam no mfiri ye sonko oye busuefo nenso so ade ana Mahama ehunu 20 years ahead 13-14 years no enkofo we baaye no omo bejae sa nyoma na Mahama esese ni nyina 12 years ago. The Professor Tamils baaye on ne vice Mahama na omo hye some years ago, about more than a decade. You can say decade, just a period of 10 years and a 1 decade. A score a 20 years, and that's a 20. Generation 30. Century 100 years. Into a decade, over a decade ago, na Mahama ye adia ye friend digitalisation. And Krofo we beka say and wako tam sika diama RG because RG nipa no Roland Agambila ofri sirigu osemirigu paga mfitire honum baabi oye tenant no ono de on deserve so obenya contract e de free Ghana ho ya nhwe adwuma na RG no eye enwuma na RG ebe create diama the Ghanaian youth. Enkofo beji tumi free Mahama nsem no the first target na say omo nkwase a ejapade document no they started witch hunting certain people are omo fi say eye Mahama enema omo yeyi na even if eye Mahama enema omo yeyi kura no a ye sori ani e South Korea bo anase twa Ghana mpoa When South Korea, our president na a friend President Park or dig a crony scene a quantum ponsono. Time one Japan South Korea de conquer sumuno. Omu yi omu nse fi kuro ni so no na ekuro ni seye abra North Korea beto se omu so omu ni Russia be se kuro no a America fo ni omu soldiers ni kwaji omu. One American soldier bi ka say the we are South Korea kuro ni siase afa no onye ni say ye yi wiase fufuro kura no a South Korea kuro ni bi. But it took one particular president, a friend President Park, and they revolutionized the thinking of the Koreans. Or no, they impuntu human industrialization see Ukraine so. Inti reparation package Japan echiama South Korea no at the time it was about $6 billion. Or Sikana no so unim steel company be a agye friend POSCO or Korea. Steel industry and company no industry no and then a president no or this can go see mu. And or this can be ma or no ankasa ne namfo no mo a. Any enkophobia no ofi say omo position omo hu ye say ometimi aboa ma South Korea afa ne ntoma pefra. That is why some of us say betam Ghana sika nyina dia motumfo. Ye betam Ghana sika nyina dia ma na adoni na busuafo a me I have no problem with it. Say ye diskani ma wo mo a say omo fa Ghana fo sika omo betimi dia create enwuma dia ma ya na enu bi ne si o Korea no. Samsung na ohu ne no. LG na o yusu ne no. Hyundai o kan Hyundai e Ghana ho. Hyundai na o yusu ne no. Kia car na o yusu ne no. Omo mpanyimfo ni bi no omo yes president no na damfo. Enti there were certain companies omo benefited from that president no and sa kwan so ne fa so echichikro na ekro bia nso chichire no. Ekro bia so chichire no oyɛ den a ekro no ebekwa akosi abusua bi so ewo kro ni mu na enyesi a ebekwa akosi emusuakuo bi so ewo kro ni mu na ehu hia mi o ana ya me ya o. I don't care say ye Kofo abusua say ye Mahama abusua say ye Akufo Addo abusua but abusua no a omo control Ghana resources no omo adwen ni omo tribupo ene say enu na huhia na enkofo dodo no a Korea president no e de oman no sika no emma wo omo no omo anhu oman no omo ambo oman no fom omo amma president ni nse si fom enne ye bo Samsung din ye bo LG Lucky Gold Star and omo de start here Samsung na ye Samsung ne Hyundai ni mwisi ne ye aduane because at the beginning of Korea economy no na omo ho kire womo inti na enuane na Samsung Hyundai sa we no omo ye ofeli. It got to a time when the first pony omo release pony car a Italian designer being a designer car no at the man South Koreans at the time no partner a friend saying other motor companies and no more say omo abeyo omo die and omo de te omo ho and omo try. Likewise Roland Agambila or trans or say by 1999 or trans no who said no in chronic beer wo wiase no continent beer wo kro ba ku bia wa grow the telecommunication industry no at least who grow kro bia so a China for omo mobile phones ho Korea for omo de ho Germany for omo de ho o hwe no na Ghana ye nibi. That was 1999 and unya sa idea no. Now before so be and buy into your idea no, you need to first of all show your capacity your capability and the economic viability of the dreams and the aspiration you have conceived. If you cannot let your ideas be that pitchy, you cannot win the support of not even any private sector, let alone or talk about the government sector. Roland Agambila office sirigu ni kro minim ho me nansi soda minim ho nyese masa atra moto so atwa minim ho eyankofo bi ya ekufa dubai ya ugu RLG wagu no because RLG ena na mahama de yesa ne digitalisation and ICT information communication technology drive no de Ghana faso no ewiase on de ogikru no de ogikru no de de ne je oyede ne ye osagefo no empem bia no anase debe bia no nipa baako Moses ena munyankopon no a wote Bible no mu no ofa no say odene beji ni Israel man ebre no bia no bia no onyankopon no wote Bible mu onfa nipa mienu nya adwuma da on say obedi atinye osi Aaron na Aaron nye nyankopon ne nya adwuma nyankopon oni Moses na ye adwuma Moses a time call you know Joshua ebai Caleb mobile Jaftamo enu wan mo mudi kan no epem bia no se ye sevukro se ye se kro a nipa baako ya the Samson nipa baako na agi Israel for no the same Samson nipa baako na all say Israel kro no ono anso so na osade say Philistine for no. The conclusion of the matter ni nyina ne say Munyankopon di Yesu Kristo baako pe ena o se ode ba be san agye enti ogefo no oba baako ogefo bia ye den baba bia no omo ma mienu omo ba baako Korea de eye park Ghana de eye hwan Kwame Nkrumah na so obeye na dwuma no okwa na bibia ka na wo se ye sansoma ogefo baako no wasan ba omunye mienu en sankofo ne beye nnoma bia so edanso na sankofo no bia na obi obeye so obesore de atia o bia no omanim gu ase na awiye no anim gu ase no ye poto enti adenti na eyankofuko bi ya se Roland Agambila ene ede na save Ghana Yesu baaye no enye bibia na oye right according to mo yi no even okoba bi ekoya ade bia na emfa kwan mu Moses ade bia na emfa kwan mu Abraham okoje ne wofase edi free friend say ne wofase Lot oyade bi wo kwan mu emfa kwan mu Abraham yade bi emfa kwan mu almost all the saviors no omo ye nnwuma ni bi o a emfa kwan mu but ewiye ne say oye dey eye dey a ono na ebi save mu the fact that say Mahama ene ne NDC ene omudi akonya ne ma RLG say on run the industrialization drive no ene ICT ne sa nyoma no enfama Ghana no did not necessarily mean say de na RLG bia no na efa kwan mu but the ultimate thing ne say ade no ehun faso a ede beba Ghana digitalisation it was going on at the same time providing digital infrastructure no. Na osa the apps na eka ho. Na osa the accompanying electronic gadgets ebi ni laptops no. Ene Ekufuadu ene Matiopoku prempe abo teacher for krono. Ati sika fi teacher for tier 2 o se tier 3 mu. Se the laptops bebre wo. Teachers ni be 20 to 30% enya laptops ni bi no. What is say teacher ni bi enya bi? There be. Na Mahama any Professor Tamils check laptops omuni omwendisi no check laptops dia Ghana school nkra na omo ye ne nkakra because the people understood the leadership ni say and governance ni say my Ghana afen ye fiti apoyese na ye mfiti prekupe ntwitwi ne dindindin enye say muja beba ye check laptops no eye there ebeduru so ye wo university NPP NDC enam say some Ghanaians are diabolically or naturally born bad indeed okoje laptop ni baako a no asan forge document no asan koje for aka ho tinipa baako no na me wo university na me nya bi so na me mehu obi a na okura agye laptops ni two a na okoton baako ama obi ye mfa no nto nchen me pesa me ka besu say aban bi baya o che laptop wanti sika free wo Ghana ni teacher no waketua mu o taxes no any bosia na odi udin koje ye no eno ha na odi laptops na de ma omo nya bi enam se eye RLG a wo ye tani wo ye sirimuni adenti na sirimuni ba be ye inti nkofo we baya omo gu RLG company no yenhwe adwuma na RLG ebini na before then no mama me fa we emfantwam minia obi wa ahokyire mu aya aboa no abrante bi ekoji ni ti wo barbering shop oji ni ti wie ye no afi razor balms misremo mo amukọ eno barber shop no aya monhwɛ mo ye so wo sika na obetumi a na on trust shop na wo kọ no a try and get yourself your own hair clippers. So when you have your own hair clippers make sure say unko disikechi na unko say wabrapo wanka bi ansim okoyin okoma yeyin tima no ya de machine fa na bodwiase ma ne ho ye efe afi echi no na razor balms e baaye na enyini odi kokolebu razor balm ni o baby a afi no ade no enyini edrunie na ohia $40,000 on se me platform no me se de nti a me kasa ne se me pese eda bi beduru a anka sika wi eye peanut sika ya ria no public accounts committee a de ekoso no a revelations e ba no we eye peanut even peanut ayese snap yaba ayese sesame seed ayese chai seed when chai seed no sana ade wetie sika $40,000 and a renowned professor akach then say o make sure say o ma obi amfa ne nsanka biu e wo Ghana o kolebu after kolebu first surgery no and na de ade na duru akoyi say ni 2 days ago na me ne kasa physically because ne nam ne so ama ne hu me no eye me ankasa me nua direct what you say from nkurabremu aba ana me tea issue na say me fa me platform no enye say because me dey kasa say yem fan solve individual problem na eda bi beba ye wo sika fotuo bi a Ghana aban twa to say obi a obekọ condition bi ti sesei no eno ane say wo dey akọ the right quarters na ye dey akọ no akọ ye akosa ho yade no afa ho because no one knows etra bi say papa yi na oba be wo the savior of Ghana yen tena ho mane mewo asamoja na the day ayu ansa na wa bebu sansa ne papa we because before say asamoja be ya asamoja no obi anim ne papa no obi anim ne maame timisremo number obesend scan no akono ni nyina na wo leaflets flyer na amede ato wo no so no en send sika bi amfa mame yes semi pesika de afrim ho a me ame de me nkoto number no beto ho inti se frupem na opese wo sene na oye ne moa boa no ne nipa hia moa ya be koso akan mo what I say because na sem no mobo won dey we ade nesi aye no if the need be na say mo pese yem fa na mra life ne ene ndi nkomo a I will arrange with them ne hu kwa ya de be fa so because sise no oye ono anadwuma wo ne car or si ne car kra no odi oye obi adwuma oye forceful to obi ono te Ghana otimi aye na dwuma ye ne private aye to ne car o so oton ne car ne kra mpo no a enya de a ebetumi e dey aye osa ton car yi kra mpo a ekwan obefa so move because he say me nua na drive no in and out the movement ebeye din sometimes oda ho ontimi nya no ho hwe wenti na maye mu bi bebe tra ha ye kasa senye ensem bi sei ene nkura almost suffer from cerebral palsy Down syndrome autism ene de keka ho a parents ana wo asem ne beto no onko a untimi control enu nti na broni wa jesa nyoma ne de ato ne ho so nka ya ban konya 2000 cedis bakra na e wo se nka ban no yetimi fa because $4,000 and so nsinga na ban but here's the case intimi nuanom mo a mo betimi aye ne moa no mo nko ne moa na nipa hia moa afei yemra the substantive ayin so no menua bi so menua Elijah ono oboga na ode nyomba akubi aba intimunti
making this song to John Dramani Mama Eyansa from Yansani he did it mama asaba biom he replace to make a fall baba make me winner everything scatter Allah make am better you can't help me Charlie don't give me format I say anybody where they hit your mama we shigi Taurina uye sigi John mama dia je baby ya uye sigi Fuidia yako ya nimo sigi Sele masale kule masakalia I say anybody where they hit your mama uye sigi Taurina uye sigi John mama dia je baby ya uye sigi Fuidia yako ya nimo sigi Yedi yesa tu manim Sega na economy sebe kwa koto yinsu Nasaka waye tumi ye yesuru nyame Safi basu wana betu ye njweni yesa mi mbobo Economy ni sika sama na ye mbobo Yala ye Neba kuhia kutayimu Kari kubata tunangana If you can't help us you so don't kill us Cause everybody getting choice, so you fear some. I say anybody where they hit your mama, we sigi. Fita urina, we sigi. Your mama dia je baby, we sigi. If you eat it, go ahead, you sigi. Sele masankule masankalia, se unkotua, niso mikotua. Ansana favors, you can't help me, Charlie.
Ona okano, akwa no nyum no me de or say Wa wo de wo se wo time Mahama no ye shege. Na me na make wo. Onu na e ka na asem. O se enyom no Mahama o se waji ba bia. Eni se wo se wo time na ye shege keke na oye. Nti enko ye nim. Ye be wi ha, ye be sabo. Wa anu ne nya bi obi busa se eye say $4,000 anase enye $4,000 o. Eye 40, $40,000 USD. Enye Liberian dollars. Enye Sierra Leone, dollars. What I say? Yes, 40,000 inti nye yarikuma ena abrantie no or suffer from no. Ye kwa ye de be ye inti wa pese oboa no ebia na obi ewo ho na opese support but when timi enhu numbers also the support to a number near 059-8938-153. What I say inti you call regard Connect Foundation inti edino nipa na obre no e fero there Charles Owusu Aseku and the other nkofo so omo try so say omo beboa na in fact yare no wetimi akon afri ho afi yenkoso bi o na yembo where is it one quick thing. Ghana media na afremoni ne nkofo about 10 years ago digitalisation drive ni no na ministry no esama Ghana media for no or tell omo laptops ni bi say ebeboa omo ama aye omo adwuma na ye agye assembly plant ewo ho efam krofo disabled etse omo adwuma yenhwe. Yes, digitalisation and say yes, you will be say tap and go 10 years ago. And a Mahama at the buses back room mo baye adwen bone no a mo nana di Kwame Nkrumah ibia sign Ghana no eno ana mo dinam adwen bone na mo gusu a mo dinam ene mo ne adwen bone no ena mo gusu a mo dinam because mo de mu ano ye titiro man ko animu a mo ba no mabetwe de ye ko ye chi agye for no way.
Laptops were also distributed to some members of the Media of Information Act, and the Broadcasting Bill are set to be passed when Parliament resumes sitting next month. At an event in Accra, 596 RLG laptops were also distributed to some members of the media through the Ghana Journalists Association. Some district officers of the Information Services Department of the Ministry of Information also benefited from the consignment.
The Information and Media Relations Minister said government believes in both the state broadcaster and the private media and will therefore give the necessary support. He said renaming the ministry is to ensure that it plays its key role in nation building.
We have designed programs, activities, systems and facilities that all we hope, if implemented, will go a long way to promote a more efficient and effective media, both state and private, across the country that are effectively gathering information, analyzing it effectively, and disseminating it to the right publics, I am told, not constituencies, but publics.
Mr. Ayarga said the monthly Meet the Press series will be rebranded to address specific issues. This will be a departure from the broad issues that sector ministers usually cover at such meetings. He said fortnightly there will be an interaction with news editors to keep them abreast with information. Mr. Ayarga said the ministry is putting measures in place to build the capacity of journalists and officers of the ISD. Representatives of the beneficiary organizations were grateful to the government, but like Oliver Twist, they asked for more.
The minister has been actively engaged in discussions with the GJ on how to upgrade our standards and then build a capacity of journalists so that we'll do justice to journalism, development journalism. Indeed, we are more than grateful that we've seen a difference since our minister assumed office.
The laptops will be distributed to members of the Ghana Journalists Association, GJA, Ghana News Agency, GNA, district officers of the Information Service Department, ISD, as well as members of the Institute of Public Relations, Private Newspapers Association of Ghana, and the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA. Mavis Ofei, GTV News, Accra.
GTV News, Accra. Intimi nuanom ne adofo. We ene course. Mahama de fiber optic efa asase na se no. Na internet all try say ebekọ Ghana nkurase no. Wa mena anso hawo. Omo ana omu twa na dapa na ye Ghana journalist for nyina no da so dwen omo. Wa 2012 no a wo ye Ghana media hwanhwanfo no. Omo jeje laptops ni bi. Omo jeje ye. Ekohye omo dem. Enye TM1 for laptop ya de ba o na mo ana ne sia yi no enye bi na RLG for na sa was service centers udu edum techno shop ni nchen na RLG di ni techno shop ewo ayi Malcolm old building ni mu no enye sa hwan hene building no the old Malcolm no before so onu ho no udi ka tra techno na woko RLG na afi woko Malcolm na service center ho a o laptop no se problem mu a utimi di ko ho na o ma repair ma chopoku prempe laptop no ko sesabele teachers no a mo battery ne sia yiyi no ehefa na mo de kokonya eyi ye de bi obi koje ne de kura oje e ho a o hwe laptop na o de ton ma obi 400 cedis kura de ko pay banku bi di ye me say ma wo hene ye ma wo tia me ase de no wa ni a e be du mrebi no cha hene kura unya no wadi 10 years ago this is what was going on nyoma we na ekoso afi ye nkohwe the industrial friends say digitalisation drive no Mahama make sure said disable and conform ye disable no they will not be left behind. Inti RG for no emfa wo no mo mfa nye asam tale na kwa na vision yenhwe no
transform the social and economic conditions of
disabled persons in the country are to benefit from the RLG ICT training project. The 21 million Ghana cedi project will be jointly funded by the government and RLG Communications, with the government contributing 19 million Ghana cedis and RLG 2 million Ghana cedis. Beneficiaries will be taught how to repair and assemble computers and mobile phones, as well as general computing studies. The project seeks to offer persons with disabilities the needed skills to better their lives. A report by Napoleon Atukito.
It was made in November last year that the government and the RLG will roll out an ICT training program for persons with disabilities. It received initial applicants of about 100,000. However, 5,000 of them are to kickstart the first phase of the nationwide project. It is the most decisive step by the state to transform the social and economic conditions of persons with disabilities. The Vice President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, formally opened the refurbished workshops at the Accra Rehabilitation Center and one at Dansuman, where training programs will be run. To a large extent, the present-day job market requires a minimum level of computer knowledge. The project will equip persons with disabilities with ICT skills to assemble mobile phones and computers. After the course, graduates will be directed to man areas such as science resource centers in schools and technical projects by district assemblies. Mr. Roland Agambiri is the CEO of RLG Communications, a company which is partnering government to execute the project.
I remember when we came to the center, we made a promise that we are going to rehabilitate this center, take care of it, and make sure that part of the training is initiated from this place. And we have been able to meet that promise, and that is what we are witnessing today.
The Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, Mr. Yiti Mensah, mooted the idea whilst he was Minister for Employment and Social Welfare.
This morning, we are commissioning something very important, which is going to take persons with ability to levels that we have never dreamt of. We need to thank the good Lord for this.
There are about 17 million mobile phone subscribers in Ghana. Public and private sector organizations are also well computerized, and the free laptop distribution in high schools is expanding its coverage. The Vice President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, referred to these as the ever-growing size of the market, which will offer jobs to those who service mobile phones and computers.
We must stop discrimination against persons with disability. It is rampant in both the public sector and the private sector. It is unacceptable, it is illegal, it is criminal to discriminate against a person with disability. Often adverts are placed in the newspapers and people respond. When people respond, they attach their CVs to their applications. Most of the time, the employer does not know who's able and who's a person with disability. It is when it comes to the interviews, the CV of the person with disability can be even better than the person with ability. And yet, as soon as they realize that a person is disabled, becomes a ground for disqualifying them and giving the job to an able person. That is illegal, it is unacceptable, it is immoral, and it must stop.
Reports say about 20% of Ghana's population of nearly 25 million are persons with disabilities. That translates into some 4.5 million or more. The government, through the Ghana Health Service, has stepped up the fight against polio, an illness which maims the victims. Guinea worm infestation has also been drastically reduced. However, measures to stop or reduce motor accidents are yet to make the full impact, as human attitudes also account for the incidents. Napoleon Atukitu.
We me said that I'm going for video we buy. Sa video we amanfo ena Mahama esisa Ghana sika na odima Roland Agambiri. Osisa sika na de man no. You say no mo say Bawulair e mate. Na so be a mate o timi sisa Ghana sika de ma company bi. Once mo amanu mu nsam o. And they say this particular video Mahama Kwase no a vice president. That was late 2011. We called 2012 baby. Now Professor Tamus Nyamuye. A Juma no mo ye ni. Ntina na me catch him say 2012 no na ye twitwa kwan mu de cable se fufa baby no. E ye Juma na NDC aban no Professor Tamus ne Mahama a plan se omoye. Na Mahama no Professor Mills mu and NDC ni hu say and nevias na yete no the IT industry no so we developing ye ya you don't need even industrialization. Odi obi enye production on ikromo. So well structured IT systems are like what is happening in Singapore. Singapore manufacturing men omoye. Singapore and Hong Kong. They rely on Taiwan. They rely on mainland China. They rely on Japan and Korea. But when it comes to the IT, when it comes to the hardware now, you go to even Taiwan. Taiwan for Not Singapore for no, and nothing about trading ni we no money Hong Kong for no trading ni ade no. That is why this trade swine center no at the core Hong Kong no. Hong Kong, Singapore, kura no ye train on special into IT systems no. Na IT no e won krabata bebre. If you care to know, those days I did MS DOS money ye adwuma no. And now ko to ade wo in life. Once you tape patent TV na abot the set typewriter e twemu enne no bibi bia wo supermarket no. Wo hia wo IT section. Wo bie supermarket eye supermarket edwin kwa chire a wo hia de obehwe wo computers no ni nyina no. So wo build a very good and strong digitalized economy sa neighbor. Now or vice president in this all cast about me a vice president and all champion digitalization may catch us a mahama when Nikaya ma may president no ye vice president no video neda on ala kaka vien video no neda ho pre no me say the internet doesn't forget unless you don't feed it. The moment you feed it, her video ya me on se me kan kwase asem na me ye ma adwen say me could delete ya obia download da or they to ho na da meji mi no abebody a kire me. I am telling you, me say opa for video to Facebook and now bo who naked na yes by mistake now uploading one side delete the next moment na bon say a fly all over obi be ka say all over. What did I mention? I say, ye nimyeti ha ye. Me see videos e guya catch no. Ye nyambo mu half. Na ye tete omo mu ye dede na esno wusumo no ne. Omo mu ye dede na omo de omo se entro. E no mu be di na omo de agi tumi no. Ye be kire omo se Kwame Nkrumah time amu di intro gu ni so no. Na Facebook ni ho. E na mu nya mu di mu. Enne ojefo na oba ya mo wo ni nkonsa no videos wo ho enunti na ama Akufo-Addo aban no aye unpopular say aban bia e wo started 1992 constitution. Akufo-Addo aban no aye unpopular because of onoane nkwasia bose onoane nkwasia statement on the vice no a mo go abonten when the economy one they seem ready to expose you no. Anyam na mkoka videos ni go ho. Hwede na RLG eye unua na oye bubu ani na okugina kwan ho asresi sika no ye kire no IT systems. Inti bank ehia obi no afa no a unua na okọ university a oye obubu ani no ono nso no will not be left behind. Ye ntwani nya. Ba unua na ose wa ye digitalisation no systems ben no de agu ho de training wu youth na wu de digitalisation no ba me systems ben. This is the evidence. These are the facts. Me nka ncho say ye no kre wo na abeji adi say ye no kre ana enye no kre. 2012 2011 2010 2009 2014 2015 2016 now to Ghana ho. And then 2024 what has to Ghana ho. It still begs the question. The American is si wo Ghana ho ana ensi asem sebe. I have even a TV advert na kodo upon Nkrumah or no ne omode ne ye RLG laptop your friend Uhuru no na ultimi tu ultimi tu ni screen no free ni key parts ne so no 12 years ago we were doing our own things like Kwame Nkrumah te honom no na ya hyehyɛ ya kasanoma na ya ankasa ye refrigerator na ya ankasa ye factories a eye furniture furniture ma amanfo Kwame Nkrumah wo honom na ya ye nadoa na ya assemble ye cars Bedford mu ne ade eba nsen ye begu Ghana ni die no ne aka cho say ohoho ne dibiaba ti gushu factory ema India for Lebanese for ekofa China for de enye papa efi China beton maaye enso na Kumasi shoe factory si ho me say I have realized say every bia NPP be ba betra akonya we so anase NPP nompe omo mpanyimfo eye UP eye hwan any person bia or what sa NPP akromfo na adwe no omo be ye presidency Kim no mo sa de o man ko nachi videos na mabono onti ase na obuofu a enya me na obufu me obunkofu GTV koka che GTV say adenti no me videos you abegu internet ne so wa hwehwe a unhu because wa hwehwe ne yi me na nim kwan a me fa so me hwehwe ya mgonya as videos no a me dey ba me bo number no is 0240258269 inti frɛ na che wadwen I think say na dey a brand new woman kakra yes menya 10 minutes bi inti frɛ che wadwen why wait me a che wadwen number is 0240258269 frɛ WhatsApp or frɛ me director wonsa enkame inti misrɛ wa frɛ me WhatsApp no na intwa wontum what I say na che wadwen 0240258269 mamu remfi ye nua na oyare no na mo aboa no nhwɛ sɛ metimi enya na yi ne saa de ato eho bio a so ho ene da ho no mini awaba so din bia kasa free
hello
yeah ya to nkapa mini a kasa
mini akuto mpacho mo say
me ho ya pa mini a kasa
yo de da wase ne adwuma pa mo ye ya mi chiram na ontum komai opidam em say ye nua ba omi ade say o kasa o beka ba omi asem a em say ade be che em say enne ma wi akuyi pa asem muslim brother na wo twa mponto ko say on the day a friend say friend say I lulu see a card there from and ya if you search muslim brother or you say you want media the same be sending come for mo yan come for mo to no o mo nya fi na ba mi a fi a be creating me mo Ghana ha politicians have Ghana wo ki no awaya sa you want to give you be PR I see say a kind channel I know I see type of them and them I know about to be a no won continue on nye kama I didn't know what to put
that's it
media
that's minia ti wa person also friend no wait me afraid ye sim one time 0240258269 inti ye twen o call no WhatsApp call any ye twen WhatsApp call inti minia WhatsApp call hello
Good evening, Godo.
yes minia kasa
Good evening. You are because every say price in your seminar.
that's it
Almost say amumu we are econ. Idia ewo editor no actually people say we check it and one fooding. Now check it not transiting. Na wo the account fooding ba ye dinu kan seminchire inti. Yetimi na EPP a na check not trans and say and fooding na beto no. E kan asem chire ni padua na ye didi na ato no. Enti na nso ma ne nemo obeye no o check ni din a ye de ato na uhu na mo se wutu. But go back and for mu a ye tu di no kwa asichire bia nchire hwe enti se bone na akanfo e dia o mi na chingu se o de di sabone wana se we de di one na ato but not necessarily na voterance no o mu din a ye de to o mu no o mu e ka bibi chire o mu ni ba ye de bibi o mu ye bia na o mu de adwen to mu emu se di din na o ja wo no ese se we de di mpa And then I said, I'm a Ghana difference. I'll buy your name on them.
And I said, the deeper. Hello, didn't baby Akasa free.
Hello.
Yeah, you're talking community Akasa.
Oh, okay. I because I was over contribute to program.
I Koso.
You but the no kwesi as if one said the first.
Yo.
As if you go more quick.
Menti o hu TV ne so tie me wo phone ni mo nyesa kasa no be twetwesi nti wo de kasa tie me wo phone ni mo nya TV ne so
Ya ma ko ro sisi abu e wo Ghana ha no e how because ya hwe o be yiru kufo na achievement o ba ye ya hwe wo sisi de ya hwe atabe sisi de ya hwe Bahabate. In fact kufo ado na be mo yi de agency because all about catch and they say all die be die. And say all die be die no implementation. Since you implement as is here which so bad it. It's invested more sabi move to research information back. So about be or ye a friend a family the
network problem. Hello, didn't baby Akasa free.
Hello.
Yes, we didn't baby Akasa free.
But you're from Maximo Casafri, Ghana, Winniba.
Okay, Kasa.
But you go to Ayadina Mishra. Now, but we also a meet. Now, person business meet who do master chinesa or master name Kakania. So because you do man say the master name to man and Kosua so jay. Now, mate dear or a mate dear, me person business or no better running meet now. Now, so far, running meet idea you man in running meet no baby because my TSS MPP, on my party no way advice unya to maybe into no my in as a flat there no or baby vice president and a person Ghana for
a good question.
No,
yeah, that's it. Maybe Salama. Bye. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I just saw Casaminia.
Good evening.
Minia Casa, yeah, Timonka. Minia Casa, Kawasem so. Kawasem so.
Yeah. You made us say, how is about me own? The new for years in Biaka. Is about me own.
Yeah, now you say Obedim Run so. Hello, we didn't baby Akasa free.
Okoto. Baumia say a can't Baumia Sama. Usha at a Java boy. Who said, Baumia or ya trophy pa.
Etonka, Kasa.
Which is a Baumia or ya trophy pa. So you see, the Baumia Assembly party and at a Java boy. And the engine as a man 2024 December 7th. No. When I ever home,
last.
Yeah,
that's it. Hello, in fact, last two. Hello, yeah. Yeah.
How are you, sir? How you doing, sir?
I did cool.
I like you every time I try to hold on you, but every time you're not sure your line is very hot. So everybody wants to talk to Ghanaians, you understand? Thank you very much to open the Ghanaians their eyes. A lot of people listen to you from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm always live with you. Keep it up, bro.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Bless you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Hello. Hey, in fact, last call. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Minia Kasa, fire.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, Joso Minia.
Let's say.
Yeah.
What to say?
Me ho ye Minia Kasa.
What to say? Your friend, Jerry John Amo Rory, 79 Akola. Now, me must my can say. Let that almost service, almost freely in us. Namenka NBC for Obibiala. Na John Mahama, young friend, John Mahama, your best friend. Incoming again, fishing president. Obia or what and it's what you our watima or what door or one Brasia or what training answer because you put ye. Minimum say, Kwame Nkrumah, every day on my super. Nianga name former President Lawrence, every day on my super. But the new obeying Nkrumah, new obeying Papa, the BPR for it said, Kwame Nkrumah, incoming fishing president.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was a young compound.
Yeah, that's it.
Mama, yeah, all together. Yeah, to Martin. Na mesra say ye MPC no
Minia the besi ha say ye mamo chance emrade no aya na edoso why until no go straight to the point mo kan wi a na mo atwa so ho he man for doso we chiri se ka se mo be 5 minutes oba be dan in 10 minutes o man 1 minute oba in 2 minutes into time be at the be man no ya mienu no kure ni enso bia but you make the best out of the time no ya de be man no ya do be see ya da for be friend say na be sense ya makra mo bye bye.
I say anybody where they hit your mama, we a shaggy. Futaurina, we a siggy. Your mama dear, your baby, we a siggy. Fuidia, your koya nimo, shaggy. Selema selekule masakalia. I say anybody where they hit your mama, we a shaggy. Futaurina, we a siggy. Your mama dear, your baby, we a siggy. Fuidia, your koya nimo. Yedi yesa tu manim Sega na economy Sebeko koto yinsu Nasaka waye tumi ye yesuru nyame Safi basu ana beto ye njwene yesa mi mbobo Economy ni sika samana ye mbobo Yala ye Neba kuhia kutayebu Kari kubata Sunangana. If you can't help us, you sure don't kill us. Cause everybody getting choice, so you fear some. I say anybody where they hit your mama, we a siggy. Fitaurina, we a siggy. Your mama dear, your baby, we a siggy. If you wait there, go ahead, you siggy. Sele masankule masankalia. Say mukotua, niso mikotua. Ansana fiba sono yetua majoma. My mudu, Missumi and Mahama, Kayumunu, Mukobili Minunu Bashan, Obajo for me. His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. Made de mama, Masamba Bium. You the place to make a fall, Baba make me winner. Everything's scatter, Allah make them better. You can't help me, Charlie, don't give me format. I say anybody where they hit your Mahama, we a shaking.